I'm Charlene, I'm a registered dietitian, and I've been asked numerous times about the role nutrition plays in the fight against COVID-19. So what I did is I put together two separate presentations, one which focuses on maintaining a healthy diet during the COVID-19 pandemic. I'm yet to share that with you. And this presentation at the moment, which is going to focus on nutrition advice for a person who may have contracted COVID-19 and is currently self-isolating. So you can follow along with me on the screen. So these are my objectives, and I'll get straight to the facts about COVID-19. Now I will try not to spend much time on this slide because I know we would have seen numerous videos circulating on Facebook and YouTube about the coronavirus. But what do we know? We know that COVID-19 is an infectious disease caused by the newly discovered coronavirus, and it's usually spread by two main routes of transmission. As seen from the photo, it can be spread either directly or indirectly. Directly refers to if an infected person were to cough or sneeze, the droplets in the air can then land on the nose or the mouth of someone, and this person can then catch COVID. Or an infected person were to sneeze and the droplets were to then land on surfaces or objects, for example, a phone, and then someone else were to touch that phone and then touch their nose or their mouth or their eyes, and then that person can then contract COVID. Considering these are the two main routes of transmission, I like to say at this point that physical and social distancing, along with good hand hygiene, are the best way that you can protect yourself and others from COVID-19. I'd also like to say that this virus is very dynamic. It's evolving. There isn't much data that is published. And because of this, I'd like to encourage everyone to follow the World Health Organization as well as your government advice on protection from COVID-19. So symptoms of the coronavirus. And we know that common symptoms include fever, cough, and shortness of breath. According to the CDC, the incubation period is anywhere between 2 to 14 days. Now, the World Health Organization would have stated that most persons infected with COVID-19 will experience mild to moderate respiratory illness, and they can recover without any special treatment. But persons who may be older, persons who may have underlying medical conditions, for example, diabetes, high blood pressure, cancer, heart disease, these are the persons who are at risk for a more severe respiratory illness. I'd like to say at this time though, that there is no single supplement, there is no single food, there's no authorized treatment for COVID-19. There's a lot of trials that is still on the way. So again, I'd like to emphasize on my earlier point, good hand hygiene along with social and physical distancing are your best protection against COVID. But what we do know is that nutrition and hydration is important at this time. So the importance of nutrition and hydration during the illness. We know that good nutrition is important before, during, and after an infection, because an infection can take a toll on the body, especially if that comes with fever. So I'd like to start a little bit about hydration. And what do we know? We know that our body is composed of approximately 70% water, and we would typically lose water through our urine, through our stools, through our skin when we sweat, through our respiratory tract as well. Now, a person who has fever will experience rapid fluid loss, and this can be very dangerous. So Aspen would have stated in one of their research that a person who has a fever of approximately 39 degrees Celsius, they can lose in just 24 hours approximately 30 ounces of fluid, with an additional 3 ounces coming from coughing and breathing. So let's take into consideration a person who has no appetite, a person who may be unable to have adequate fluid intake, in addition to someone who has vomiting, someone who has diarrhea. All these combined leads to rapid fluid loss, which is why hydration is extremely important. Unintentional weight loss is an indication that the body is losing fluid, and the body is then using fat and protein for normal body function. So it's extremely important that during this time that we maintain our hydration status and we ensure adequate nutrition is provided. All right, so I'd like to also focus on this point. Even if you are not hungry or you're not thirsty, it is important that you eat and drink to ensure that you support your body's immune function at this time. Yeah? Okay, so we know that it's essential to have sufficient calories and sufficient protein to protect you, to fight against COVID, in order to protect your body from muscle loss. So a lot of the times when persons are unwell, they tend to lose weight. Not so? In addition to that, most persons think that if a person is bedridden or inactive, that they don't need much nutrients. But that is not true. When the body is under infection or the body is under stress, we actually recommend more calories, more protein, and in this case, more fluids. So let's move along. So staying hydrated. It's important to replace your body fluid loss and thin respiratory secretion, because the research would have stated that if you are dehydrated, the respiratory secretion thickens, and then it becomes more difficult to clear from the lungs, which can lead to pneumonia. But how do you know when you're dehydrated? Well, you'll find that you're feeling extremely thirsty. You will notice a darker color urine and a reduce in the urine output. You'll notice that your mouth is very dry. There's an increased heart rate. You might be confused. You might feel exhausted. All these are signs of dehydration. So what is recommended is that you consume 3 liters of fluid daily. 3 liters is equivalent to about 12 to 14 of the 8 ounce cup. Now this might be difficult for some persons, which is why we recommend consuming anywhere between 2 to 4 ounces of fluid every 15 minutes. So staying hydrated. For persons with vomiting and diarrhea, it is extremely important that in addition to water, you have oral hydration. Now, most times we would recommend clear fluids with calories and protein. Example, Boost Breeze, Diabetes Shield. We'd even recommend sports drinks such as Gatorade or coconut water. All these are excellent rehydration solutions which will provide you with the electrolytes such as the sodium and the potassium that is needed for rehydration. But what if you don't have access to these things? Well, then you can make your own rehydration solution recipe at home. All you need is a 1/2 to 3/4 teaspoon salt, 1 cup of juice. It can be orange, grape, apple, cranberry, whatever you have available, and 3.5 cups of water. And there you have it. You have your own rehydration solution at home. So moving on, eating a high calorie, high protein diet. And we know that it is important to eat well in order to heal well. All right? All people, healthy people who are unwell, all people need calories and protein to fuel their everyday life. All right? It's important to keep the body functioning. It's important. The calories is important for energy. All right? The protein, on the other hand, is important for growth. Is important for maintaining your muscle, for repairing tissues. Is needed for your hair, for your skin. All right? If you get a cut, you want that cut to heal. If you have an infection, again, it's very important for the body's immune system. So consuming a high calorie, high protein diet is very important at this time. Now, calories tend to vary based on an individual. So we work out calories based on someone's height, weight, age, gender, and so on. But in cases like this, where you don't have access to a dietitian to work out exactly what is your caloric intake, what we normally recommend for normal weight maintainers is anywhere between 1,500 to 2,000 calories. If a person is under stress and infection, well, those calories increase by, let's say, 500. So you're looking at approximately 2,000 to 2,500 calories per day, depending. How do we work out protein? Well, an average healthy individual, we would recommend 0.8 grams per kg actual body weight per day. But someone who is again under stress and infection, we recommend anywhere between 1.2 to 2 grams per kg per day. Now this could be about 75 to 100 grams of protein. And to make this easier, what Aspen did is they put together how much ounce you would need. So you're looking at 10 to 14 ounces of protein. Now 1 ounce of protein is equivalent to the small matchbox. All right, 3 ounces of protein is equivalent to, let's say, a deck of cards. So if you were having lunch and the slice of fish on the plate were, let's say, similar to a deck of cards, then you would have consumed there 3 ounces of protein. Now, what are good sources of protein? Excellent source of protein include chicken, fish, eggs, peas, peanut butter, your dairy products such as milk, cheese, yogurt. You can even use oral nutritional supplements such as the Ensure line or the Boost line. Those are excellent source of protein as well. Yeah, so moving along. Here I have a high protein shake recipe. You can use 3/4 cup of yogurt. If you were to use Greek yogurt, you will have a higher quantity of protein. So that is something that you can consider. You can use 1 cup whole milk. Now, most times we recommend low fat or skim, but in the case where we want additional calories, full cream milk is what is recommended. You can use 2 tablespoons of peanut butter and some fresh fruit to taste, and there you go. You have a high protein shake with, let's say, 200 calories, 12 grams of protein. Of course, you can add chia seeds, flax seeds, pumpkin seeds. You can add all these to make your protein shake more richer in nutrients, yeah? So this brings me to the slide where should we consider oral nutritional supplements at this time? Now, of course, we recommend that you get all the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients you need from the food that you eat. But in cases where you are unable to eat regular food because you're too tired to prepare it, or you just don't have a good appetite, nutritional supplements are a great way to get calories, protein, and the essential nutrients that your body needs. So here I have the most common available supplements in Trinidad. We have the Boost line of products. They include Boost High Protein, Boost Max, Boost Original. All right, these are excellent source of protein. As you can see, 20 grams protein, 30 grams protein. And for our diabetics, the one that is suited for you is the Boost Glucose Control, which is, in this case, 16 grams of protein, and it's going to help manage the blood sugar. For persons who might be interested in the Ensure line, there's the Ensure High Protein, which has 16 grams of protein, the Ensure Original, which is 9 grams, but the Ensure Enlive, which is one of my favorite, is 20 grams protein, 350 calories. For persons who may be diabetic and wish to consume from the Ensure line, there is the Glucina Shake, and that is also can be used to help manage the blood sugar. I also have here 2 of my favorites for high calorie, high protein. The Very High Calorie by Boost provides you with 530 calories and 22 grams of protein. So again, these are available in most pharmacies and groceries. It can be sourced directly from the supplier, which is located in Mokoya, Bryden Pie, and Massey Distribution. So you can maybe consider the use of oral nutritional supplements at this time. You can use it to replace a meal. You can replace breakfast or lunch or dinner, or you can use half in between the meals as a snack, or you even have the option of chilling it and just sipping throughout the day. Again, it's a great way to get the calories, the protein, and the essential nutrients that you need at this time. This slide was specifically for my colleagues who might be interested in nutrition for COVID-19 patients in the ICU. It's not much different from what we were doing before. It follows basic principle of critical care. We would typically use the Harris-Benedict equation to work out caloric needs, or we would use anywhere between 15 to 20 cal per kg actual body weight per day. As mentioned before, protein we would use anywhere between 1.2 to 2 grams kg per actual body weight per day. And we know, of course, if refeeding syndrome is present, that we start with just 25% of our caloric needs and we increase as the days goes by. Of course, we will monitor phosphate, magnesium, and potassium levels. Yeah. So this has brought me to an end of my presentation. I'd also like to say, don't take my word for it. I prefer that you visit reputable sites that you can trust. Some sites to consider is the World Health Organization, the CDC, UNICEF, Aspen, which I got most of my nutrition information from. All right, and I'd like to say that Facebook is not a reliable source. So ask yourself the following question when you're getting information. Who or what organization is providing this information? Is the source reputable? Is the information provided based on fact, or is it an individual opinion? Is the information provided balanced? Meaning, are the person providing you with both sides of the issue? Because there are a lot of people out there who is in the business of making money. So is it that this organization or this person is trying to sell you a product? All right, so again, I want you to get the information from reputable sites, and I also want you to visit different sites and get the same information, which leads me to this point here. Can the information be verified by different sources or other sources? So all these are things I'd like you to take into consideration when you're looking for information, not just on COVID, but on nutrition on the whole.